farmers, welcome to our farm. Let's quickly learn how to plant yam. So in these short videos, though a lot has gone before I could have the opportunity to do this video for you, but I'm very sure you will get something interesting out of this little video. Really, I've been hearing from some people, most especially all our rich people, our wealthy men, their children, they do say yam do sow on their ropes, like they do sow on the stem, like they sow up on a tree, something like that on the rope. I've even heard of a man that, gathered dozens of nylon and plant yam stem instead of the tuber inside the nylon. So, and at the end of everything, all the stem died off, they withered off. So I just quickly want to let you know, and I want some of us that don't know much about how to plant yam to know how yam are being planted. So it is very simple. Like you can see, we have the yam tuber here. This might not be unlike the one you used to see in the market, like the one you used to buy in the market, but it's a kind of farmers know how they do this kind of thing. So if you check this yam very well, you are going to figure out that there's a space here. So they cut the one you are buying in the market. If it wasn't lit, so they cut that out of this, like they slice small, they leave small here and they cut the rest. So the rest are the one they sold to the market. So if they just harvest yam, new yam, so if they just harvest it, if you want to buy it in the market, you are not going to see something like this. You can see it. You are not going to see it on top of it. So you will see fresh, like they slice it. So the one they slice are in the soil. So that one is just a kind of small like this. So that they do that during rainy season to just get this thing. If they should harvest it like that, the only thing they will get will be small. They will only cut the top, maybe something like this. So they will only cut the top. They will cut the top, sell this place out, and how many who will buy this small one? So they will cut the top, sell, plant this place, and sell this place out. So, and that won't bring them enough gain. But in that season, when they want to cut it, they will cut this place. They just cut it like this small. So this place will remain in the soil with the stem. So, and they will sell the rest of this place out. So this place, this little place that remain, is the thing that turned to this bigger one. So it will sew on the body like that, and it will expand. So if they should cut only that one and use it to plant, it will only plant one hips. But this can actually go a long run. It will plant up to 2, 3, or 4 ridges. You get. So it's just as simple as that. So you will see, just watch the video to the very end. It's very interesting. You will see how it's being done. So I will quickly, before you plant this, you should know something. You will have to trim all these things. Nothing goes into the soil without being prepared. You understand? So you can't plant it with this root. All these ones are the roots. So these are yam roots. So this is the real yam you eat, but these ones are meant for planting alone. So you trim this. So kindly watch the video. I will trim it and you will see how it is, and I will cut it. So just to make you know that it can actually plant up to 3 ridges. So watch the video to the very end, and just stay on Addota Farm. Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to get notified when next we drop a new video like this for you. Keep on watching. You use your knife, and let me tell you something. There's one secret about this thing. If you are using a knife, this kind of knife, to trim your yam or to slice it for planting, don't use the same knife to peel roasted yam. Don't do that. It's not okay. It will kill the yam. So especially roasted yam. So it's either you use other knives to peel your roasted yam, or you use cutlass or any other thing you can use, or you use your hands if you don't have any other thing in the farm. So don't use the knife you are using to trim the yam you want to plant. So it kills yam a lot. Though I don't know much about the secrets, my dad can actually talk about that, so I don't really know, but that is what I grew up to learn. I'm a practical farmer, so farming has been my thing right from the beginning. So I just wanted to learn how to plant yam, and just in this video. So let's quickly watch it to the very end. So the trimming, you go ahead, make sure if your knife is not sharp, you can use cutlass. Just then you sharpen it. So make sure the knife is very sharp so that it won't waste your time when you want to trim the yam. So if you're, for instance, I'm using this blur area now, so I might be undergoing a lot of stress before I cut it. Can you see? So but if like for instance now I'm using the sharpened area, so it's just very simple, so very fast, so it should be easy for me to trim. So let me quickly do this so that I can slice it so that you can see. So it's very easy. So you can actually plant yam at your backyard. So I will, if you don't get something like this, except farmers that are going into a very big farm, like as you are seeing in the video, you can see that all the ridges, the farmland for this yam is very big. So if you are going into something like that, you will need things like this. But if you are not going into something like this and you probably have some space at your backyard and you want to plant yam that could feed your family for something like a month or weeks, so it's not hard. So what you do is let me quickly finish this. I will resume back on that. So this is how to go about it. So the trimming, now you look at, okay, now so if you want to trim, your yam must not be small and it must not be too big. So if it is small, it will quickly rust on the ground because we are planting it in dry season. So the reason why it won't dry, the reason why it won't die, I will let you know. So quickly watch this video, please. Watch it very, very carefully to the end and listen to all I have to say. So like I said, not too big, not too small. So you look at this space. So where can I cut that it will be okay? So for one hips, like one ridges like that. So now I look at it, I can see this place, I can still cut something out of this place that will contain one. So let me quickly trim it like this place. So I put my knife, now I cut. So I go to the other side, I cut. So can you see? So this can actually plant one. See how I cut it. So it won't die. So if you want to cut yam like this, there's something about it too. You don't cut yam like this immediately and plant. It will dry, it will die, it will get rotten. So if you want to plant yam like this, so you have to do it. Find a dry sand like this, put on the surface. Can you see? So just you will leave it like that. So it will be the next morning, like tomorrow morning. That is when you will get to plant it. So if you plant it immediately, it will get rotten. So let me cut another one out. So you can see that is one. I told you it will be up to 3 ridges, like up to 3 hips. So that is one. So let me see. As you can see, it is still big. So let me see if I can still cut another one. So I see this too big, and it will actually be okay for one ridge. So can you see? This will actually plant another one. It's very simple. See, it's very big. it's enough to plant another one. So before this one get rotten, so your yam will have sprout out. So it's very easy. So let me see, except you wish to plant this one alone that remain. So I told you, this is one, this is another one. So this one can still plant another one. So making 4 ridges. So it's very simple. That is how to slice this kind of yam if you want to plant it. So that is just the preparation. So you trim all the this thing, the roots. So you make sure everything is clean. So before you get to slice, so when you cut it, after you cut it, before you carry it to where you want to plant it. So it's just as simple as that. And that is that about slicing this. Like I told you, don't use the knife you are using to slice this to eat roasted yam. Don't do that. And as well, if you want to plant, if you slice today, leave it, let breeze, wind to blow it, let the surface dry a little bit before you plant it the next day. That is that about that. So, and if you really want to plant this, so what you're going to do is like you see in the video, it's very simple. You take the edge. Let me show you something about the edge. So this is the edge. The edge stays up. I told you, the edge stays up and not down like this. For instance, now this is the one I slice. If you want to plant it, this place is where your yam will start germinating from. This center, not like this. So if you want to plant, like you see in the video, plant it like this. It will be straight, or you kind of bend it a little bit. So if your yam, for instance, now this is water yam. Water yam is different from the other yam. This one is I don't really know the name I can give it, but this is what we know as water yam because it has a lot of water. There's a lot of water in it. When I say a lot of water, I'm not saying water is gushing out of it, but it does have much water than this. That is why they called it water yam. You can see the flesh is different, so it's a different kind of yam. So this one is different, as you can see it. So this is the normal yam you buy in the market, and this one is water yam, so it's quite different. So if you have, for instance, you only get the one from the grocery store, like you get it from the market, and you really want to plant it, so you can get stuff like this, so at hand. So it's very simple. Let me teach you how you can plant the one you buy from the market. So once you buy it like this from the market, assuming, because I don't have things like that here, let me check this. Oh, really, I don't have such yam here because we have already harvested many of it. So if you have things like this, you buy anyone like this that is big from the market. I don't really want to cut this because this one can plant one this thing. So if I trim it, that would be very, very bad. Let me use the water yam I'm using. So if you buy anyone from the market and you want to plant, so just target it. Make sure it's big, like I do tell you. So you use big one. So don't let it to be too small and don't let it to be too big. So if you get it like this, what you do is you cut it. So if you want to cut it, don't cut it straight like this. Don't cut straight like this. Cut, bend. It will bend like this. You see? Let me cut it so that you can see it. You cut it, bend. So can you see? So can you really see that it's bent? So that is how you cut it. So this one is the one you will plant. So you plant it. So just plant it straight to the ground, or you let this space to bend a little bit in the soil. So that is how you do it. So by the time can you see, like I told you, can you see that there is enough water on the surface of this? This thing is kind of white, so there is enough water if you see it there. So there is enough water on the surface. So that is why they call it water yam. So for you to be able to plant this thing so that it won't die, what you do is either you put sand like I told you, or you leave it like this till the next day. So if you put sand like this, you're actually going to leave it too. So this one will actually make it faster than this. So the surface will dry. So by the time you plant it, it won't get rotten again. So it will just germinate immediately. So talking about the other one, there's a system I do after planting the yam. So after putting it in the ridges, I pour sand. So you don't let it to go too much deeper, and you don't let it to stay on top of the ridges. So if it go deeper, germinating will be very, very difficult for it. And if it stays on top of the ridges, sun at this period will kill it. So now, for you might be wondering why we are planting it in this very season. So this is dry season, and I can at least tell you that this is the season where they plant normal yam. So don't let it amaze you. So farmers know how, they know the time and the period and the season they plant it. So before June, July, so they will be harvesting yam already. So this is the season they plant it. So they will plant it in this season. When rain drops immediately, they will start germinating. So already they are ready where they plant them inside the ridges. They are ready to grow. So once first rain drop, you will see them shooting out. They will sprout out immediately, so they will start germinating. So, and if you want to plant this kind of yam, like I do give conditions. So I just want I want your farming to be perfect. So if you want to plant, that is why most people probably use a bamboo tree, or they erect trees inside their farm. Whenever time they plant, you will see some of these farmers in Nigeria. So they do use bamboo tree. They will plant it in the middle so that when the yam germinates, the stem can actually go on the bamboo tree that they do. So but in this place we have enough tree. So if you want to plant, you look for a place that have trees. So yam like this actually like a very fertile place. So they don't need fertilizer or any other thing. So I know a lot of people put fertilizer on theirs, but yam like this doesn't need fertilizer. So what you are going to do is you practice bush farming. So you let the place to rest. So after that, you cut the bush, the grass, all the grass, then you take care of that place. So you plant them. So make sure there is enough tree there. If there are not tree, you can actually plant the bamboo. You can use that option too. The reason is any yam that grows, that the hands, like the stem, if it goes into if it hold the stick or the tree and goes up, the more it's going up, the more it will be getting larger on the ground. So because the yam is no longer competing with grass, it has gone above the grasses, so it will be going higher and higher and higher. So, and nothing will stop it. And the more it's going up on top of the tree, the more the tuber will be getting larger. So if you that's the reason why, if you see this one, so you can see this one, it's different from this. So they are bigger than each other. For instance, let me show you another one. So they did them in the same season. As you can see, this one is small. This one was planted outside. So, but this one was planted under a tree. So the hands goes, he hold the tree straight away when it germinates. So that is why I'm saying you should erect trees, or you plant it where there are much tree. As you can see in this farm, you can see that there are a lot of tree. You may be wondering that what should I call it? Shed does affect crop. That is true. We are not going to leave all those trees like that. When time comes, we are going to use chemical to kill all those trees you are seeing, so that it can give sunlight, and also allow breeze to breeze all those all the crops, all the yams, so they will have time to germinate very well. So that is just the simple things that I want you to know. And there's one more thing before I end up this video. Like I told you, can you see that it's a very interesting video? So it's just as simple. If you can listen to all I'm saying, you will plant yam perfectly at your backyard or in your farm and actually harvest them successfully. So in this season, so the major reason why we are planting it at this very season is because of the time. so that we can harvest them on time. If you see in this video, you can see that I'm doing a kind of grass and putting it on top of the ridges. That is a kind of shed for the yam. So if you want to do it, don't let it to be too thick, and don't let it to be too light. So if it is too thick, once your yam sprouts, if it started growing, like if it brings the stem and the stem hits the shed, so it will turn back into the soil, and trying to pass another one is just like it's a curve. It will come from down up. If it hits the shed and it's very very thick for it to pass, it will go back into the soil. After that, come up again. If it doesn't succeed the next time, it will wither off, it will die. So that is why I am trying to tell you that you shouldn't let it to be too thick, and don't let it to be too light. So the reason why we are doing that is because of sunlight. So, for instance, some of us that are in the room watching me, you can see that your room is cooler than it was outside. So there is a lot of heat outside. So it's not possible to just erect a building without a roof. So the roof is what is emitting all the heat. So why inside is cool. So that is what we are doing to this yam exactly. So the shade, all the grass we are putting on top with the sound are the things that will be emitting, like absorbing, or what do they call it? So they will be taking all the heat. Yes, they will be the one absorbing it, taking all the heat, receiving everything together. So it won't be able, the heat won't be able to penetrate, to go down to where the yam is. So that is the essence of doing it. So it will be the one receiving all the heat. After receiving all the heat, so the yam will be able to stay in a very good condition, and it will grow very well when the rain starts. So make it light and not too heavy. So it should be in between. So that is just how to successfully plant yam. So plant your yam today, plant your yam this year, or plant it early next year, so that you can harvest and eat with your family. I know lots of us have lands everywhere. So if you can't do it, there are lots of people that will help you to do it, that will help you to plant it. So there are laborers everywhere that are looking for such job to do, to just earn their own money. So you can just call them to your farm, so, and they will render their service to you. You pay them their money and you harvest next time, and you will see that it's very easy. So I have a lot of people that does this. Even the ridges, sometimes they are not even up to 10, but they still manage to do it, and they don't get to buy yam for certain period until the yam got finished. So don't let me forget, you will see that I'm inside my very big mansion. So this building, we erect it. So though there are some people that does yam balm, we have a lot of them. So they make house or do all this yam back and stock all this yam inside, so they put it inside. But the reason for this one is that we are going to plant this one. So if we do yam balm or cover them in a very thick place, or in a place whereby there is a lot of heat or there is no breeze, so this yam, they'll be doing what? They'll be dying. They'll be they'll just be be dying naturally. So yams like this, if you want to plant them, they don't need heat. So that is why we erect this small building. So it's just a kind of a hut like this. So we put them inside, and you can see there's a lot of space. So this space, breeze will be coming in. So the top actually will be receiving heat. You can see it's still the same process. So the up like this will be receiving the heat. So inside here is cool. Outside there is a lot of heat. So that is it. So if you want to, if making the choice of yam to plant too, please check the skin. You can see as I peel this one, it's very fresh. But assuming you peel it and it's a kind of having a kind of brownish this thing, and the brownish color is much inside, don't plant it. If you plant it, it will die immediately. So the yam is already dying. So at that very condition, it's dying. So you don't plant it like that. thanks for watching the video to the very end. I know it's a very long one, but I believe you've learned a lot from this. So keep on subscribing to Addota video, and thanks for watching. My